What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. Now, guys, this is an ARC read. Chad was a nice enough guy to send your buddy here a book to read and review. And I was gonna wait till October to drop this review, but man, I don't want to wait because right now there is a sale on the book, and I do believe, guys, that this one is gonna be a great read for your October. Let's get into it. The story revolves around Scott. He is our main character. Now, Scott has a troubled past, and he is haunted by nightmares. We know this because the story starts with one of his nightmares. Scott's reality is a very troubled one as well. Scott is a family man. He has a wife, he has 4 kids, but right out the gate, you can tell that there is kind of some unspoken tension happening amongst the family. As the story progresses, things only seem stranger. And then when Scott gets into a car accident, it doesn't make anything better. We do get to see some flashback sequences that kind of shine a light and show us the history of Scott and the things that had happened to him that have shaped these nightmares that he just is so haunted by. Eventually, we get to a point where Scott's nightmares are now a reality, or maybe even worse than a reality. The story had a very familiar feel to me, and a lot of it stemmed from like the horror movies I grew up on, especially the ones that had families in them. This really reminded me of like the Pet Cemetery, Amityville Horror, or Poltergeist. It just had that familiar feel of like, a horror story that contains families. And as a family man myself, this personally freaked me the fuck out. Chad Nicholas does a great job of keeping you in the dark and then just kind of shining a light on things as you progress, just enough to clue you in and keep you from kind of getting angry. You really don't know anything from the beginning. Like I said, he's obviously very talented at just kind of slowly revealing the story to you, which helps build tension as well, which I think really pays off in something like a horror book. Another thing that I think Chad Nicholas does really well in this book is he's just ruthless. And that is something I always look for. If you are, if you subscribe to this channel, or you know me at all, I like it dark. And I love it when an author leans into the dark side instead of being too scared of offending readers. And it's not so much that Chad Nicholas has this offensive writing in here. It's just that he went for the throat. He definitely... It's hardcore, and there was definitely some moments in this book that made me cringe, and not a bad way, just oh my god, like I said earlier too, guys, if you are a family man, or if you're a mom out there, you know what I mean, if you got family, this book will probably hit you in some spots that are super uncomfortable and just creep you the fuck out. Like I said earlier, Chad Nicholas does a really good job of slowly shining the light on things. This is, a very mysterious tale from the beginning because you're just guessing. You're like, man, what, huh? Maybe this? You're making a lot of assumptions. There is, obviously some foreshadowing in there. So some things are just really easy to tell. I do think that some are not. So you know what I mean? I don't think it's one bulletproof deal where everything is super shocking, but I do think that Chad Nicholas did a good enough job to keep me, surprised. Now, as far as some stuff that maybe I didn't like about the book or I see could be problematic, I feel that there are a couple things in the book, maybe 2 or 3 times I saw, where I just felt maybe it seemed a little like the content was a little dated. This obviously being, I used to watch a lot of horror when I was growing up, and it just kind of, like I said, some of it reminded me of that. So I don't know if everyone's going to catch that stuff or feel the same way, so it's really more of a personal con. The other one being the ending of the book. I was really torn on even putting this in the review, but I feel like I need to say it. It's just, as far as the ending goes, I do feel like it changes the entire tone of the book. Yeah, maybe it lightens up the book some, where I was really impressed with how brutal Chad Nicholas was going with it. But either way, guys, this is still a nice dark book. It's full of things that are just gonna freak you out. Another thing I want to talk about, guys, is just the paperback version of this book. I am not an e-reader. I wish I was, because it's more cheap and convenient, but I am a paperback junkie. So, yeah, I know, spoiled. Anyway, I got Chad to send me the paperback version. I have cleared it up with him that this is going to be the version that you guys will get if you buy the book. And it is a comfy read, guys. I do like the illustration on the front and back. There's also some cool little illustrations in the book. But the big one for me was just the font being a little bit bigger and the spacing in the pages. Yes, because guys, one of the biggest pet peeves of mine is tiny little font with even littler spacing all smashed into a page. It drives me nuts, and I hate reading those. So this one was, you know, like I said, like driving a Cadillac. Nice and comfy. Plenty of elbow room, baby. But if you're not a paperback junkie like me, and you're one of those guys that loves convenience, I'm telling you right now, the ebook of this book it's on sale. It's cheap as hell, guys. And if you're looking to fill up your October with spooky reads, I would definitely recommend putting Nightmare on your list. It's worth it, guys. Now, as far as my 2 cents for the slow and the struggling reader, man, there's really nothing in this book that will hang either of you up. The page count in this bad boy was like over 300, but like I said, with that font size and that spacing, this book is probably more like just over 200 pages. As you know, struggling, guys, I think that with the flashbacks and everything, I think that Chad Nicholas does a really good job of not letting anything get out of control. He keeps it somewhat confined. Yes, it's mysterious, but like I said, that light gets shined on your question just in time to keep you from being frustrated. It's an easy read, and it's an enjoyable one, and it'll scare the shit out of you. Once again, guys, just want to say thanks for spending some time down here at the channel. And to Chad Nicholas, thanks, brother. Thanks for sending me the book. This thing exceeded all my expectations, and I really do look forward to seeing what comes from you in the future. All right. Later, guys.